Okay, so we tested the snails with the 6 substances. What you want to have filled out now is this table 1.3 at the bottom of page 13. So say, for example, for soil, your snail's reaction, maybe you wrote down, it checked it out, it didn't seem to hate it, but it wasn't super interested in it. So maybe this, if your hypothesis back here was that it will love snail, you might have to say, well, it didn't hate it, but I wouldn't say it loved it. You might have to say, I rejected my hypothesis. Snail was a little bit of like, but I wouldn't say it loved. For number 2, which was the detergent, I don't know what your hypothesis was, but let's say your hypothesis was snail will be indifferent to detergent. Well, it hated it. It really was repelled by it. So you would then again have to say, I did not support my hypothesis. I rejected it. So one of the key things to keep in mind is that here, where it says hypothesis supported, you can only support or reject. Okay? It's not about true or false. You either support it or you reject it. Those are your 2 options here. And if you reject your hypothesis, it's not a bad thing. Don't think that because here your hypothesis said one thing and here it turned out to not be the case. That's not a bad thing. Rejection is not, it's not like when people reject you. It's not like that. This is just science, okay? Just means maybe you have to go back and rethink what you figured out. If you turn the page to page 14, you'll see that every group that would have been in class doing this lab would compile their results together, and based on those you would decide overall how do you think snails feel about these different substances. We don't have all the results from the class, so we can't quite do this part. You could just go off of what your actual results were. And the last thing here is this page 15. I'll have an assignment that mirrors this on Canvas for you to do. So do make sure you go through and think about these questions and fill them out. And probably a couple of the ones you want to really pay attention to here are going to be this one, this sample, number 3, and number 4. So this sample that's included in all of the steps but doesn't contain the factor, this is talking about a control. And I'm going to post another video about thinking about controls based on the results of the snail experiment that we just did, okay? The other one here is this number 4. Can data or results prove a hypothesis true? This word proof really only belongs when you're talking about math. And I just told you that what your results really do is that they either support or reject. So the answer to this question, can your results prove a hypothesis? No, they can only support or reject, okay? So keep all that information in mind, and you'll see an assignment regarding these questions on Canvas too.